in the outside.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hanging Out with Temi. How are you doing?
Hello, ladies. I
Please,
am doing very, very well. Thank you very much for asking. How are the two of you? In which country are you?
I feel like we should move this to our queen with the. What are you wearing? There's a poncho or what do you call that?
No, it's a coat.
The coat. Well, you
Yeah,
amazing. Very nice.
it's cold.
Yeah, it's really nice.
But we're not
It's
called.
cold. It's
We're
cold in Melbourne.
Sorry, where are we? Looks like we're in what? In USA or something. But
Yeah,
it's good to see you, Liz. It's been a while.
yeah, sure. Restrictions are lifted. I see the two of you are together. How come I wasn't informed that I'm supposed to be there?
Apology.
Ooh.
The moment I saw the thing is lifted, it's like, I'm coming.
I know, Heidi, right?
I was so happy
Every opportunity for face-to-face, Heidi.
we jump at it. It's really good. It's really we tend to miss each other. And it's been fun. So welcome everyone to Hanging Out with Temi. It's been amazing. Last week was good. If you watched us last week, thank you for the comment. Debbie was like, the comment was coming, and she's a celebrity now. I'm like, we're not even celebrity. You are the celebrity. You are the celebrity. It was amazing. It was good to see that amazing, beautiful woman join us here as we do every week. So look out, today is gonna be amazing. Three ladies here sharing our heart out about our topic today. But if you're the first timer, we say welcome. And if you've always watched us, thank you. And the thing that they said I mustn't forget is like us, share, and subscribe. You see, I don't even know how
Yes,
to subscribe. So,
please.
yeah. And also, if you have an insight into what you think unsolicited advice means, keep the comment coming. It's okay. We're not going to judge you. Welcome. I've got something I was going to share with us today, though, and it was from my treasure book. I think,
Okay.
yeah, from James 1. It's from my one of my friends used to call it Constitution. It's my Constitution that I'm abiding by, my Bible. But it's James 1:23. It says, anyone who listens to the word, which is the word of God, but does not do what it says, is like someone who looks at his face in the mirror and after looking at himself or herself, goes away and immediately forgot what it looks like.
Mm.
I think that was interesting. But what got me there as often is you look in the mirror and you leave the place and immediately you forgot, I'm guilty as charged.
I think most women are guilty of that
You right?
because, oh yeah, I think so because we kind of look into anything that reflects us, while you are crossing, along the street, you keep looking at and you pull and I think every woman has got some sort of guilt percentage there.
Yeah, we all fall in that trap, huh? I think so.
I
We
think
all,
so.
yeah.
And grass is always greener on the other side because you think that person is always looking better than you. And for me, I must say though, I don't look in the mirror very well. And I was thinking on this very well. I'm thinking, why don't I look in the mirror? And the lighting in my room is not even good, has never been great. I had a bedside mirror, but I don't have a dressing table mirror. I beg your pardon, light. So it's never, so I just rush and go. And I think about it, I think I might be in denial because if I look very well, then I might thinking, oh my God, the dress is tight here. All that. Is that why I'm thinking maybe that's one of the reasons why I don't look very well. And I leave the place, I forget. And also, one other thing is, it depends on where you live. If you go to America, whenever I go to America, I always like it because I'm the slimmest. I look so slim in America.
Really?
Oh
Yes.
wow.
Here I come.
So I look good. I don't care because everybody is like extra. Everything is big,
Yeah. Now you make me want to talk about two incidences. I'm going to talk about one.
Yeah.
About the mirror issue. I had a friend many years ago, and we were, is it at church or in church? And I know her. She used to take her mirror along with her. It
Oh,
was always in the Bible.
mirror in the Bible.
And one day, it fell, and then she was in the worship team, so she was sitting in front. And while the pastor was busy preaching, the mirror fell and it broke. It was such a joke.
Uh,
Yeah, so some women keep them with them as well. Yeah.
do you think also if you're carrying mirror, you look like you're vain? Because don't you have something good to do with yourself rather than looking at yourself, me and I am myself? I think you might, people will judge you and think she's vain. It's all about vanity. Why are you looking at yourself for?
I don't
I
know.
could have done that in the past, not now. Now, thank you, Jesus, I'm rebirth. But before, if you're carrying mirror and looking at yourself, I think, oh, what's she doing? That she's vain. I'll think so. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why people don't, so they're not being judged.
Yeah, I think the issue of carrying a mirror has been, what's the word?
Obsolete.
No, it's not obsolete. They've made it, but they've modified how we do it.
Oh,
So in today's world, we've got it in our face powder. We've got it on the phone. So while you do a selfie, you're actually looking at yourself. If somebody calls you, it's a FaceTime or it's a WhatsApp video call, and I'm talking to you guys, but I've got an opportunity to look at myself. I can see, this is not okay. You know what I mean? So we keep continuously pulling things right, and we are in a world where everything is reflecting. So it's not like those days when, for you to carry a mirror with you, you had to break the one that you have at home.
that
Those days are over.
that used to be a thing when your mirror breaks
I
at home,
know.
you never throw it
You
away.
never throw it,
You
yes.
just carry it.
No, you don't. You're just happy with the many pieces.
Oh my word. Please, you've been around for a long time. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I not be, am I don't want to say this about myself, but I might have issue with being a lady because I think I'm not really a lady like. I can't, I know sometimes you go to restaurant, people, Liz, I think Liz does that, touch up their lipstick.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I've never done that in my entire life. I can't be bothered. I really don't look at myself as such. I don't do that. And one day I was trying to be sophisticated. I went, away and I saw this beautiful mirror. I actually bought two till today. I don't think I ever used that mirror. And I might have one in my bag, but I've never taken it out and look. What's the point? I'm not used. So I think I need to step up a little bit and be a lady.
No, Temi, it's okay. It's fine. You're beautiful just the
No,
way.
you just be yourself.
Yes, yes. Some people do this, and they care a lot about how they look, and some other people, sometimes when they have the chance to look at themselves in the mirror, they don't. They just don't care. Like, I brush my hair in the morning, or I put the hairspray, like I have hairspray on now, but then that's it. I don't want to look at myself again. Done. Just let's walk out. Let's do stuff. But
I'm not alone.
some people do like that. My grandmother, she is 100 this year, and she
Oh,
carries a handbag, little handbag, okay, that has a brush and a mirror and something for her lips, okay, and a perfume inside a little pouch bag that she carries around everywhere she goes. As soon as she sits down in her lounge room, she sits down, she takes away, she takes out her brush and her mirror. She makes sure that she's sitting down in her own lounge room, in her own, dress that she's wearing at home with her kids. She makes sure that she looks good.
That's right.
That.
It's
at
really
home,
important.
maybe when I turn 100, I'll start doing that. And the other thing is also, I love your grandmother, mind you. She's so ladylike. I'm just not like that. But, again, when where I come from, Lagos, you have no time. You're rushing. You rush to go to work in the morning. Sometimes people leave their homes at 5 o'clock in the morning to start 9 o'clock work.
That's true.
At least we don't know that, because Namibia is piece of cake. But Nigeria,
No, our distances are not like that.
you see, and then you're coming home and then you rush. And if you have kids, you're doomed. That's another problem. And so again, you leave that, you come to Australia, whatever you've done before, you have to redo it here. So you're going to school, you might have children, and you go to work. What time do you have to look in the mirror? So I'm saying that a lot of times we don't look. But now I'm chewing on this Bible passage. I'm saying, Lord, maybe I should look. Do I have veins here? What do I have? But the preceding thing before we look at yourself in the mirror and you forget what you are is the word that says, if you read the word of God and you're not the doer of the word, so whatever you read about the word or you get about, try and do something about it. Just don't be the hearer. Do something. So it's like, if you know that you're fat, for example, do something. Don't just look and pretend and that, oh, I'm fat, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to look at the mirror. I'll just run away. No, if you don't do something about it, it will deal with you. Whatever you don't deal with, deals with you. So if you think there's something that is not right, then work on it. I think that's the message that James was trying to tell us there. Just don't be the hearer of the word again, be the doer of the word. Yeah. So I thought I'm going to share that and see how does that minister to you and what does that mean to you. So Liz told us now that we don't need to take a broken mirror in our purse now. And we need to be better. On that, we are going to go on a quick break and we will be right back. Welcome again to this edition of Hanging Out with Temi. We were just talking just before about James 1:23 that was saying that if you hear the word and don't do anything about it, you're like someone, which is the word of God, of course, like someone who looked at themselves in the mirror and leave the place and immediately they forgot what they look like. So let us know if that, if you make any meaning of that. Or where was I? Hi, ladies. Someone was saying hi, ladies. Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
Good to see you there, Debbie. And there you are. So if you're just coming on the show, we say welcome. And welcome to the show. If you're returning, thank you. Today, we're going to be talking about unsolicited advice. Well, when I don't know where Liz got. So this was Lizzie's cup of tea, actually. But when she said, I'm like, I might be guilty as charged, but this one sounds good. And I start to look through my life and see what are those things, times that, I've been giving some unsolicited advices. Sometimes I think unsolicited advice could be good sometimes. But well, from personally, on this show we talk about our experiences, where we're coming from, what we know. I think sometimes what you know shapings your outlook about life. We're from a culture that you don't need to ask for an advice. We just give it anyway. We just dish it out.
Yeah, if you know better, you dish out.
You dish out. Until I came to this country. And I learned about unsolicited advice. I've, I've only just learned. But anyway, Liz, tell us what was flying through your mind when you were thinking about unsolicited advice.
Um, it was just really a thought. How sometimes um, we really find ourselves guilty of that, and I think particularly in the world of social media, where these days, people are so authentic. People talk about what's coming up for them. Really, they share where they are, and you see hundreds of messages, people telling you, like, I mean, look at the situation of COVID, for instance. Everybody knows about something you should take, or your sleeping position, or whatever that can help you, not to catch the virus. And these things just come from anywhere. Your inbox gets full, even on Facebook, while whatever group you are in is full of COVID advices. I mean, really, I don't know. So sometimes it feels like, who cares? Please just mind your own things. I don't need advice now. So yeah, sometimes it really gets to that place where you just want somebody to listen, without really telling me what to do or how to go about, so I thought maybe it's good to talk about it, so that it comes in the open, and we kind of become aware of when to really advise somebody, and when to be quiet. Keep it for yourself. It's not needed here. you know
I'm just laughing my head off with this topic, really. The way you're talking. Then I'm thinking, will this be applicable to your family too, like your husband? Maybe we have husbands that don't even need our advices sometimes, but you think you have the right anyway to advise them? Would that be a thing? Or your children? I know the children, they tell you anyway that I don't, but I still don't get it. When a child says I don't need mom's or dad's advice, I don't get that. Like, whose advice would you need then? This is mind blowing. Because from history, it's always been advice from your mother, your uncle, your auntie's cousin, your cousins, anyone that is older than you should be able to give you advice anytime.
there's nothing wrong, Temi, with giving advice, but let
Unsolicited.
it be requested for. Let the child come with a concern that is asking you for advice, because sometimes your child perhaps just wants you to listen. You all you need to say is, I'm really sorry you find yourself in that place, but when you need me, just let me know. That's maybe all they needed to hear. But there you go, as where I find myself guilty as the life coach, and how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? When was the last time you had, and my husband would say, no, it's okay.
I know better. I don't get that because when do I become mother? The intuitive, that wisdom.
Yeah.
I could see you even before you see yourself. I could see you even before you know it. So
Exactly.
that I find that so challenging. Okay,
That's a
and
very thin line.
I'm so guilty of that. I believe
Mm.
I'm entitled,
thank you.
and it's my job and it's my
Thank you.
place to jump in and to say, like the other day, I found Ellie, coughing and sneezing, and I said, let me have a look at that dust in the room, and then I'm going, well, do you understand now why you're coughing and sneezing? You've got dust in your room or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or she's on the phone, and I know that she has an exam, and I'm going, next to her
God
room,
bless you.
and I'm going, yeah, do you have an exam, or have you finished your exam?
Thank
Or
you.
like, I do that. But the thing is this really helpful, Temi?
Is this really helpful? If anyone is got any advice that is helpful, please
Yeah.
let us know because I'm learning that there's something like unsolicited advice. I might get it for an outsider now. I get it, but I, I advise people. That's what I do.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Exactly.
You don't need to ask me. I'll give it to you. And I advise it to my friend. I tell them, you look good. You don't look good. Cut your hair, barb it. Whatever I do. But apparently, it's a big deal. But on this show, we've got an young adult that is coming to tell us. Oh my, these kids, God have mercy. Well, I don't know. God have She's gonna tell us about what she thinks unsolicited advice is and if it's advisable for us to continue to advise, even though it's on in,
Unsolicited,
intended, it's
yes.
not required. She's coming to talk to you. But we're gonna go on a quick break because I need actually to breathe because I don't know what she's gonna say. We're gonna go on this quick break. Let us move our body a little bit, and then we're gonna bring our chief guest on the show. Be right back. Yeah, welcome back. I didn't know that today's topic, unsolicited advice, didn't get me, but it's actually really gotten me big time. I think because I'm guilty, but I'm not alone. I've got my accomplice with me. We're both guilty.
Well, it's big time.
Big time. And especially for our children.
Yes.
But like I said, we've got a young adult that we're going to bring on the show. She's going to talk to us. This kid is so opinionated, they're so smart. And truly I know that they're smart. I know
Yeah.
they're intelligent, I know they're wise, I know they're good kids, but I still think we're the parents and we should be able to advise them. And I do advise this girl too, my friend's daughter. I'm gonna bring her on now 1 second. There is the princess.
Hello.
How are you, Lola?
I'm good. How are you guys? Good to be here.
Wow, this girl is doing really well now, Lola. Tell us Heidi's daughter, by the way. Thank you for coming, Lola.
Thank you for having me.
What have you been up to?
Well, we've just finished exams for uni, so it's literally my second day of holidays. So I've just been working, just been, relaxing. So nothing really, to be honest.
And you've been driving all over the place, haven't you?
As much as I can with this quarantine, I'm trying.
Tell me, this is on the spot. How is your mom responding to this? You're driving.
Look, I'm the oldest child, so I recognize it's quite difficult to adjust to, her oldest daughter leaving the house, driving around. I think she's doing the best she can and it's working well. So yeah, thank God.
Thank God. Actually, I'm surprised because Heidi is doing really well considering who she is. She's, she's doing really well, but she knows I'm here. I'm going to get over yourself, girlfriend. But fantastic. Well done. Congratulations on your admission and
Thank
all that.
you.
Well done. Well done.
Thanks.
So, Lola, today we're talking about unsolicited advice and,
Yeah.
how do you take that and what do you see to that?
Mm. Um, as you said before, I am quite opinionated. So I do have quite a strong stance on this topic. I think, let me just, put it out there. I think it's important to recognize the relationship that you have with that person beforehand. So when you hand out that advice, if it's a completely different story if you're giving it to like your family or your close friends compared to a stranger or a coworker or a classmate. It's completely, I think, like situational, circumstantial. It just depends on what it is, just where you're doing it. I think that's the most important thing. Mum said before, she definitely does do that. It does, go hand in hand with her work. Most of the time, it is received quite well by her clients and by her friends and family.
Mhm.
And then there are some times where I think both parties may have misjudged the situation and then miscommunication occurs. But yeah, so I really think it just depends on the situation.
So if somebody, if for example your mom comes and advises you and say, Eileen, now you need to go do your car wash and then you need and it's so unnecessary, how would you respond to that occasion?
Look, it really just, I don't know. Here's the thing. If mum's advising me about something that she is a lot like more educated on, of course I'm going to take her advice. At the end of the day, though, I will say,
Don't go
I think I'm a good judgment. I have a good judgment with what needs to be done when it needs to be done. And I think because if it's something got to do with me, I think at the end of the day, I have kind of the I'm trying to phrase this correctly so it just makes the most sense. But I think if it's a circumstance where mum's more educated in, I'll definitely take her advice. But at the end of the day, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to path my own way through life. So I will also take in consideration what I believe in as well.
That's very, very wise. I know you to be a very, very wise girl, really. And I'm not surprised with the answers you've given us because most places, and it's true, I've seen you operate and I've seen the way you relate with your mom. And sometimes I want to say to her, like, what are you doing? But you understand that is her job as well as it is a
Of
profession.
course.
And she does really well. And you acknowledge that. And that's very important because I noticed that some kids they don't get it, they don't take it, and not appreciating maybe their parents has got wisdom. So not many of you are in town at all, and I'm very grateful also for the kids that we have that they listen. But a lot of times particularly is about friends that I think
Mhm.
the friends. When friends come to me and talk to me, I learned this in a hard way. But somebody was talking to me for like 2 hours and it was very serious thing, and I'm thinking, oh, your life is at risk here, and I jumped into it. And then she nicely told me, like, yeah, I told you all that. I actually really don't want any advice from you. I just want you to listen. What? Oops. I've never
Yeah.
heard in my life because it's not my culture. My culture, you don't sit people down and talk to them 2 hours and say, listen, we don't do that. It's never, you're wasting my time. I don't have so, but I've learned, upon we've done a couple of courses as well. And where you live, you learn that
Mm.
is the thing here, but it's not where I'm coming from. And I tell you why, that's why I'm going to drop the ball. That's why most of us don't want to go for counseling. When you go for counseling here, people don't advise. The counselors don't advise. They just want you to talk. And then they will give you a box of tissue and say, here we are. It's a tissue. You can use it and cry for all you like. But I want you to do something, fix me right now. It's not happening. So I'm learning that here actually. Any experience of
So many experiences.
I'm not alone.
So many. I went out with some friends some time ago, and everybody on a table was talking about a specific topic, which was weight. And every person had a problem. And I was looking at all the food, and I was looking at their intake, and I was looking at, I'm thinking, when do I jump in? I just can't wait so I can put in my, 2 cents or whatever it is that I'm going to put in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I have so much to offer this conversation, and just wanting to swallow my words, and I stop talking and I don't know what to say. But Temi, sometimes I just can't hold back. I feel like it's my duty. Sometimes this is where,
My duty.
Liz, do you agree, Liz? Sometimes don't you feel like it's your
Yeah,
duty?
sure, I do, and that's I'm definitely guilty of that. There's a very, very thin line between what you think is your responsibility and what is really expected from you in a conversation. Because we also advance in age and we've gone through some sort of experiences. When something happens in a setting, you want to talk from your experience. You want to give from your what you have overcome or what you have seen happening.
Yes.
But that then on the other hand can be perceived as, maybe you are arrogant, or you think highly about yourself. You're putting the person down. You are judging the person for where they come from, or you're looking down on them because they are not even there where you are. So I think it's just good to be cognizant of when and where you do these things. And I'm not saying this because I am cognizant. I mean, I'm a life coach, and I've been a life coach for since the last about 10 years. So I'm equally guilty. When I meet somebody, I see the person for their greatness. I can, just pick up, this person must be good in this area. I must talk to this person about this. And, my mind gets made up. But in that process, I'm already losing at what this person is telling me, because I'm looking at how good you are and, which direction this conversation is going from my perspective. And you immediately become a client. And that's not what people want when they come to talk. They're not a client. It's your friend who visits you. It could be a new friend. It could be an old friend. You could be in a group conversation, but your mind is already seeing how you can fix this person to, improve or to meet that goal that they are struggling with, and that's not good. And that's what I'm telling myself. I must tone down from that perspective and be there as in present in the conversation, and advise when it's necessary. But it's a very, very thin line, and it really needs work on those of us who have a number of years experience, and who also have children.
Okay, so Ellie, from your perspective, when you are with friends, okay, well, that's my job, that's Temi's job, that's Liz's job. What do you do as a friend to your friend? This is not your job.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not your job to fix their lives,
Exactly.
Obviously. So you're not a fixer of some sort, like the three of us. So what do you feel when your friends are doing something, that is, so out of line, or that's going to be dangerous to their lives or to their future, or something like that? What do you do?
Exactly. Young people.
So you're asking what would I do if somebody came to me? Are they coming to me in the form of like permission, or are they just letting me know that they're going to do it? Like,
Group
what do you?
friends, they're going to go out and have some drugs, for example, or something
Okay.
around that.
They don't have to check out.
They do. They know about this stuff like that.
I know they do, but I don't think they talk to each other. Anyway, advise
Oh,
us.
they definitely do. It's common knowledge, even in Christian schools, conservative schools. It's very common. Um,
Sorry, what is common?
Drug use and alcohol abuse, all of that stuff is quite common. See,
Welcome
that's the
to
thing.
one.
Yeah, so when it comes to that's actually a good topic because when it comes to stuff like this, sometimes mum and people in her generation are a little bit naive to the things that are happening at schools. So
Yeah.
that's when people like me and my sister that are around that same age, we're a little bit more educated in how to deal with this or what to do when this happens, and that's something that we can talk to you guys about.
Okay.
So yeah, but if that was gonna happen, look, I'm not a quiet person. I will straight point blank tell you what I'm thinking about it. I'm just gonna say, look, I really think you're being stupid. I really think that's not a good idea, and that's it. My opinion done. I don't mind saying it. This is something that I'm totally against. So yeah,
Wow. See, my kids left school now a long time ago, but they used to say that these things are common. I'm like, you're using the word, I said this to them, you're using the word common loosely. It can be common. You went to Christian school. It can be common, but you're saying it again that this thing is common. Oh, it's a
yeah, it's quite
another
common.
topic because this week is giving me shiver now. I'm
Mm.
really because this is what I'm saying to people,
Yeah,
Hailey. When our people says, "Oh, I only go to church and then I send my kids to Christian school," it's all lies.
yeah,
It's all. I mean, we still share, we still talk, we still got a platform where we can educate, and we still even lacking. Imagine if you don't even have this opportunity like we have, and the privilege we have to be able to have this. You are just in the dark. I'm saying,
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
say this is common, and we say we send our kids to Christian school so they don't go to
they're
public
safe.
school, you're lying because these things they say it's common.
Mm. It is too. Like I honestly
Wow.
was naive to like that knowledge, that kind of knowledge. Like seriously, they do that. They take what's it called, vape to the bathroom in the school.
What's that?
Vape.
I don't know anything.
Okay, I'll educate you like that.
Eli-
So yes, they do that. They do that at school. At school. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, you know,
Look, can I just say though, it didn't happen when I was at school. It only happens in my sister's generation. So
oh,
it's
so
advanced.
your sets they're not as bad as the younger generation. Is
Well,
that
look, my year level was pretty like we were a tight knit family, so we all kind of just like kept each other in place. But we were really lucky. The generation like we were like the last good kind of year level. The generations before us, they're quite messed up, but it's okay. You've got the good and the bad.
wow?
Yeah.
I'll bring you back on this because we really I want to educate the parents that they
mm,
think
Okay.
they save. They think they save. They think their kids are safe. And I said, if you go to heaven and your children are in hell, you might as well go to hell with them. I don't even think you make heaven anyway.
yeah.
God, you can't go to heaven if your primary assignment is to make sure you're home safe. So we actually need to make ourselves open and discuss and converse and share with you so like you can educate us all. Nowhere in this whole wild world is safe. Do you even know if your children have tasted the drug and you think they're going to Christian school? Do you even know? So this is a very, very serious topic. And Ellie, God bless you. Thank you so much that you took us there because this is very important. I say to people, somebody was saying to me the other day, don't go to where the unbelievers are. I'm like, where are the unbelievers? They're in church.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
and
it's
we
true.
and we go to uni. Your teacher is an atheist. Your lecturer is an atheist, and he's lecturing you. Why are you sitting under the tutelage of unbeliever? So I'm just saying that there's
Very true.
even Bible say God looked from heaven to earth to see if there's anyone that is doing good. He says there's no one, there's no one. So we just have to keep working together and sharing and growing and let the love of the Father fill your heart wherever you are. I'm sure people will see you early and they want to do the wrong thing, but they see that you're doing the right thing and you're beautiful. You're doing the right thing, you got a car. You're doing the right thing, you got a job. You're doing the right, you're beautiful. You know, so you don't need to go into all these things to be cool. You're just cool the way you are. And how are we going to know? How are you going to ask your child if you don't know these things are happening? Because you don't ask them and say, oh, anything at school today, please tell me any drug. You won't say it because
You
you
want,
don't anticipate it. It's a Christian school.
Yeah. I think the thing is, this is obviously not the same topic, but I'll just quickly add, um, the kids will not openly tell their parents this stuff out of fear. Even if it was like a spur of a moment experimentation situation, they still wouldn't have been, it really just depends on the parents at the end of the day. So the kids' issues, the kids, it all starts from how the home environment and how comfortable they are with their parents and the foundation of that parent to child relationship. So I think it's really important. Mum's nodding her head like, yep.
True.
oh, girl, yes.
If they know you're gonna kill them, you're gonna choke them, you're very intolerable, unbearable, they're not gonna share. And before you know it, they indulge themselves and they rooted into this dangerous activity. May God not let that be our portion in Jesus' name. But it's when you share, we know now that don't jump off your seat. Everybody is doing it. Let your child tell me more about it. So then you know how you're gonna by God's grace to support them,
Yeah.
basically. No school is safe. There is so much happening. We hear it all the times. Yeah, we do hear Debbie, but some of us are hypocrites. We believe like we're like those ones that see themselves in the mirror and leave the place and forget. We just say, well, it's not my kid's school. It's
Yeah,
a
it's not
Christian
happening.
school.
Yeah.
It's your child's school. Or you think you're safe, but your colleague at school, at work, the people you do lunch with, you don't even know who anyone is. I think Bible say when you're standing, watch lest you fall. Don't think you're standing because the sand could be going down under your feet as you are. You can see I'm passionate about this. Baby, you rock, baby. You rock. I feel like I see you to give you a big fat hug. Thank are going to teach us so much. And people like me, I'm extremely open. I'm like sponge. I want to learn. I want to know because, like you said, your time is good. The one coming after you, hello, I'm still going to have a grandchild, and I will be in this life. Do I know what she's going to be or is going to be? Well, by God's grace, by me knowing the tricks of the devil and tell her that you're more than this. I know the trick. That's when they're going to stand and they're going to be firm and they can stand devil and say, devil, go thee behind me. I'm not going to try that drug. I'm more than that. People say to me, Temi, are you taking something? So I'm already high. I don't need drugs. I have Holy Ghost drug in me. So I don't need artificial drug to make me high. I'm high. But we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we're talking about unsolicited advice, what it is. You give it, when do you know to keep your mouth shut? And Ellie took us to a good place where we're going to bring back again about where that is safe in this whole wild world. And if you see someone that is endangering themselves in an activity that, cost them their life or something, their future, how do you do and what do you do? And Ellie told us, Ellie was just going to say, well, hey, Ellie, welcome. Thank you. I like the way you frame it. We need to learn that, English is my second language. I wasn't born in Australia. Can you tell us what do you say you're going to say if you see someone?
Yeah, so if they're a close friend or if there's somebody, that I care about, I'm going to give them my advice, whether or not it's appreciated. I'm not going to, shut up and allow them to get hurt. So I'll just let them know, like, I really don't agree with what you're doing. I don't think it's a good idea. But then again, I'm not going to enforce anything on them. They can take it or leave it. It is what they want. So, yeah.
I like your style. This was us, my time. Like you're doing that. Hey, God forbid. I'm not going to. Bible said, "Don't sit in the council of the ungodly. You are doomed forever." But how are they going to change if we don't get closer to them and just have an opportunity to minister to them? Ellie, thank God for people like you, and it's true. Just we need to appreciate what we have. You're in this world, but you are not of this world. You're there, and you're thriving, and you're different, and that makes you unique. So I celebrate every child, every opportunity that I see. In my area recently, there was an incident of a 15-year-old killing a 17-year-old who is ministering to this 15-year-old killed it's a killing, killed a 17. So things are happening in this world. So we need to know what is happening, where we're placed. So let our light shine wherever to be able to minister. Thank you for shining that light, Ellie. You're different and we love it.
Thank you.
Unsolicited advice. Though I want to ask Liz, if you go to a counselor and you talk for 2 hours and the counselor just gives you a box of tissue and just says, you can just, and you talk, and you finish, and they say, okay, I'm just hypothetically, how would that make you feel?
Well, you see, the counseling session is of such that you talk into a solution. It's not just a talk. There is a solution within the talk. So if a counselor just gives you tissue and you cry, and off you go, then that session didn't mean anything. But a session always concludes, and that is what it should be. Every session you have with a counselor of any sort should always conclude with something you have to look forward for. It's either they give you homework or you have definitely ticked something off among the things that you said in the initial session that you want handled, or the two of you got to some sort of an understanding in terms of the way forward. There is always something. Yes, the client does get emotional, and the tissue has to be there, but amidst the crying, the conversation always moves towards some sort of direction or solution. So the counselor, what is it? I don't understand. Initiate. They steer the conversation in a manner that you speak about, your own solutions. As the matter of fact,
Yeah,
all they do is they help you to see the blind spots, those things that you have not seen because your eyes are too focused on the problem. So the counselor just slowly opens up, peels the onion a little more, and you start seeing what is between the layers. You are the one talking about those things that you see between the layers, who eventually become your own solutions. That's the skill the counselor comes with, to help you see the things you have not been seeing, and which become the solutions.
that's
So,
fantastic.
and that should be a counseling session, not to go and cry and go home.
That's fantastic. That sounds like our coaching technique.
Yeah.
That's entirely what we do. Fantastic. But I like what you said just before, how you end your session with someone. What did you use? I like that. It's your choice. I like that. It
Your
doesn't
life, your choices.
your life, your choices.
Yeah.
So I really like it, and I like the sequence of your work with this person. It's brilliant. But I want to ask a question, unsolicited. So if people come to you with issue every time, all the time, you're friends, you're not supposed to say anything at all. That I need to ask that, because people come to you, they talk. Unless they say to you, what do you think? You don't say anything, because we need to say this. You know why I'm saying that? Because some people from my generation, from my side, they come to you to talk all these things and you say nothing, you're going to have an enemy. They're going to say, why did I even waste my time to come and talk to this person? I just wasted my time and she said nothing. She's hopeless. And then you get into trouble. When do you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is we need to say this to educate each other, to know that even though you might say you're from Nigeria, for example, Australia now is changing our thought process, is changing our style of operation. We don't need to give you advice because it's what is in. We don't know if you're now Australian, for example. So you might see Heidi and think Heidi is from Africa, but actually she grew up here. She's African, but she's Australian now. So I will be cautious not to advise anybody at all. So I'm saying if you come to me and you don't say, what do you think? I'm not gonna say nothing. And then I'm afraid if I don't say nothing, someone that is gonna get offended. How do you know when to say? Because my people, they don't say, what do you think? They just talk. When they just talk to you, and when they talk to you, assume that, you should advise me now. If I'm like, God will bring clarity to everything I believe you had, because you didn't ask, then please help, let's shine light into this. Okay.
Yeah. For me, I would think there's nothing wrong with asking the person if they are open to advice.
Okay, good one.
Yeah, you can listen all you want, and maybe ask, are you open to advice in this situation? Could I offer some advice? And if the person is willing, you've got the platform and you've got the ear. So now you can really talk all you want and advise that person. The other one that I wanted to put as a scenario is when it becomes unsolicited, the more is I had a scenario where I had a speaking event, and put everything together in terms of the planning, and the day dawned, it went well. People were sitting down and I delivered my speech. And at the end of it all, people came, oh, that was so good. I'm so empowered. I'm so inspired and so on. But then you've got that 2, 3, 4 people who say, next time, if you have it, please, you must add this one there and put the flowers here and, the microphone and the sound, do I really need that now? Honestly, is that the place and the time for it? You know what I mean? I think that's so out of place.
Yes.
I think it really depends on.
When it's my next gig, for instance, and what's the venue going to look like and all that? Do I really need to hear now that my flowers were artificial? They were supposed to be fresh.
I think it depends on who is talking.
Yeah. So in a scenario like that, definitely this is unsolicited. Honestly speaking, maybe this person did not even try to stand on a stage, and all of a sudden yeah, but yet they know, my flower, something about my flowers and how the stage is supposed to look like, So there are times that the advice is really unsolicited. There are times that you are right to be able to give that advice to that person at that point in time. But as counselors and advisors, I think we just need to know when to give, and need to know that we don't have all the information all the time, and the little information that we have is from our perspective.
Yeah.
It's not a world view, because we also know just that little that we know. And because of that, it's a learned behavior to say, are you open to advice? Can I speak into your life on this issue? And when the person is open, that's all right. When the person is not open, you don't feel offended when the person sits next to you and you can literally see they are scrolling on the phone while you are trying to give advice.
Thanks, Mom. That sounds good. Really good, really good. Early, you were going to give us input into that.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I think it really depends on who's coming to you for, why they're talking to you, who's coming to you to talk. I
Wow.
think the thing is that you can categorize these people into two categories. The first one are people that want to rant, they want to rave, they just want to, keep talking just to get it off their chest. They just want to verbally vomit everything that they need to say, and then that's it. Their conscience is clear. I think that's one group of people. You've got the other group of people that really value your opinion and they really want to hear what you have to say. And that group of people, I think you're able to understand straight away that that's, the category that they're going to lie in as they start off that conversation. Because usually they'll say, can I get your opinion? Like, what are your thoughts about this? And then they go on and tell you the story. So I really just think it depends as well. And you know what? There's surface complaints, and then you've got real life, issue complaints. So for example, at work, I work at Specsavers, so you get a lot of people that just like to keep talking and talking and talking. They don't want my advice, they just want to talk. But Mum, people literally hire her to give them advice and help them come to a solution. So it really it's so situational.
I agree.
100% spot on.
I've worked out a really good way when it comes to my own mom.
Mm-hmm.
So when mom is talking to me and she's telling me a story, I make sure I ask her, am I listening because I want to give you a piece of advice at the end or a comment? Or am I listening because you just want to rant? Or am I listening because you have no one else to talk to and you really want to tell someone this story that happened at work or this story that happened with your sister or something? What am I listening here as? So I act upon that, because I've noticed that I'm jumping in so much in the conversation and telling her, what do you mean you've done that? No, you can't do this. You need to do this and this and this and this. And then she said, and then she keeps fighting, and she keeps defending. And then I go, well, why did you tell me the story when you don't want to hear what I need to say? And she'd go, oh, I just wanted to tell someone the story.
You see?
So I thought, okay, well, now we know there's different grounds to stand on. Once she'll be telling you a story just because, and then the other times when she wants to hear something about it or give her an opinion of some sort, then I've worked it out with her. Obviously, I need to work out my ways also around lots of other people because that fixer in me jumps out all the time, and it's just not welcome sometimes, which is something I need to notice. Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. I like this topic. And truly, now I'm learning because I remember one day one of my kids came to me and said, I spent my credit card, da, da, da. And I said, this was a long time ago, one of my kids somewhere. And I said, really, you did? Go and give me the credit card now. I'm cutting them myself. No unsolicited. Or somebody says, my husband did, yeah. He did what? Hello? Did on your way from work stop by? I want they didn't even ask me to do that. So I'm learning, and I think it's a good thing, really. I think it's a good thing because a lot of times you waste your energy talking blah blah blah, and your talk they probably just put it in the bin. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I left. She kept on talking. She wouldn't shut up. So unsolicited advice is a good thing. I learned that now, and I lent it to my friends, but I'm actually going to extend it to my children too. When children are big enough, they marry, they have children, I'm going to be asking them now, do you want my advice or do you want to talk? Sometimes they'll call me and say, listen, this what happened to your grandchild in school. I'm like, give me the principal's number. This is the truth. This is the truth. And then you're like, I know. Give me the place. My God. They didn't ask me to go fight. They're just telling me this.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing to learn, and I think it's very civilized. Me, I like to learn, I like to grow, I like to unlearn. And like I said, it's just tiring talking to someone that does not even need your energy. And it's a good thing. You can even ask your husband. I'm going to be asking my husband now, do you want me to listen? Or do you want me? So this is a new Temi, all right? Isn't it good to be new and fresh?
Yes.
It's good. Otherwise,
Yes, yes.
old, you're obsolete, and there's nothing new. So it's always good to be new. I'm mindful of the time. Look at this Alice. That she rocks, huh?
Yes.
It looks like we already got some successions here. So for sure, and that's unsolicited. I'm just gonna give you the role. There you go. But truly, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, beautiful girl.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you so much, Ellie. And if you are watching us today, it's just a relaxation day, and we just talk as we do about our truth, about what we know and about what we don't know, about where our values is coming to contact with our behavior. But we say we're still learning and everybody is growing. So do not judge us. If you have an input, we say put it in there. And if you have an advice as well, we're soliciting for that by you. So you
Yeah.
can. Next week is going to be another fun week. I'm looking forward to next week because the topic is already really intriguing. But until then, we're just going to say tata for now and see you next week. At least if you got
Yeah.
anything to say before we leave.
Oh no, that's absolutely in order. I think we have concluded properly, and we have definitely learned. I'm also equally guilty of unsolicited advice because all I am is, a coach, and I'm sitting wherever I'm sitting with that head. So I have learned to, take that head off and just be present with some people sometimes, really.
Just be present. And we know that it's important. Yeah. Very, very.
Yeah.
Heidi, you got anything tip to give to us before we leave?
I think the only tip that I would give myself first before anyone is to make sure that if I'm going to have an input, it's actually needed. Other than that,
Mhm.
then there's no point of having any kind of input.
Other than that, it's cheap.
Mm.
We don't do cheap here. Around here.
No, not here.
Not here.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
Not
anymore.
Ellie, Eloria, have you got anything to say to us, gorgeous?
I just want to add that it's important to speak your truth, but be mindful of your truth. I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
Why do you keep us to challenging us? Now is challenging us. She said, what did she say? Know your truth and
Be mindful of your truth.
on that note, I'm gonna say Selah. We see you next week. Isn't
Yeah.
that
Yes, thank you.
oh my gosh.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.